Right, good morning everyone as we head into European trade on Tuesday the 12th of November. We'll flick across market to see what's going on. Still pretty much the same picture as yesterday. Still looking to be long dollars, still looking to be long stocks, still looking to be long cryptocurrencies. You can see Bitcoin nears $90,000 as crypto market exceeds pandemic era peak. Right, that was a while back it exceeded that, but we'll have a look at some charts now in a minute. Yeah, I think it touched. It touched nearly off 90,000. I'm not sure if it was exactly 90,000 or slightly before or slightly after, but it is up at 90,000, reaching a fresh all-time high. Anytime it pushes higher at this point in time, though, it does reach an all-time high. I'm not so sure I'd read too much into this. Stocks fall on concern over Trump tariffs cabinet. Right, there may be some difficulty getting people in positions without kind of bending some rules and stuff to get them into positions early so they can actually go and make decisions and do what they need to do. So maybe slight difficulty with that, but again, they should find a fix for that, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Stocks fall on concern over Trump tariffs as well. Tariffs are a known thing. It's not the people know that he's going to put tariffs on imports from different countries around the world, so it's not exactly a surprise to markets. And then you have a look at some charts, and our stocks really falling. It's just a bit of a pullback against the big upside from last week. So we'll have a look at that now in a minute once we get around to it. Other than that, UK unemployment rate, interesting one this morning. Unemployment rate expected to go from 4% up to 4.1%. It's not what we got though. It actually went to 4.3%. Average earnings previous month was revised upwards. Consensus was for 3.9 and average earnings up. So unemployment rate rising pretty substantially at 0.3%, but then people getting paid more money. But ultimately, the unemployment rate rising by 0.3% is more of a negative than that is positive. Right, the employment change went up 220,000, except the unemployment rate went up. I'm not really sure how that works, to be honest with you, but anyways, it is what it is. I'm going to work off the unemployment rate personally, and that went up, so that is more of a negative than it is positive for sure. You can see stocks up here at the highs. The fact stocks, they're not exactly falling, are they? They're just kind of hanging out up here at the highs, and it's fine for now. Even if they do have a bit of a pullback and they put it down to tariffs or issues in cabinet or whatever justification they end up having for it. It's just an opportunity to buy back into. I don't think either of those two change the picture at this point in time. The only thing that could really change the picture is a massively high inflation print tomorrow, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it tomorrow. I still think you got to look to be long, especially after Veterans Day yesterday. Thin liquidity across US markets in yesterday's trade. So does that open up some buying opportunities today? Theoretically, you probably wouldn't want to be long. Theoretically, you wouldn't want to be long heading into an inflation print tomorrow that is expected to tick higher. But you would have said that last Monday when we were a day before the presidential election and stocks were pumping higher. So sometimes stocks do choose pretty strange times to get going. I think definitely continue to be long. Even regardless of what happens this week, even a slightly higher than anticipated inflation print, you probably still look to get long equities on a bit of a dip. Focus on your US equities at this point in time. I think across Europe, across Asia, maybe a little bit tricky at this point in time. You can see the US dollar pretty strong. Cables had a solid sell-off yesterday, overnight, and then into this morning as well. So your Aussie Kiwi making their way lower kind of over the last couple of days, but certainly Euro, certainly cable trending lower. These two you got to look to be short. We said Euro yesterday, especially with that unemployment rate ticking higher in the UK. Okay, you don't want to sell at these lows, but I think be a seller of rallies on Euro dollar cable, be a buyer of dips on dollar Swiss, dollar CAD, probably dollar yen as well. But certainly these four probably your best bets. I think certainly these two your best bets at this point in time. Now, we were long sterling for a while, certainly not long anymore. Pictures kind of changed across the UK with the central bank kind of being more open to interest rate cuts. So apart from that, oil continues its way lower. Oil's not really a focus at this point in time. Market's kind of focusing on other things. Gold is a bit of a dollar trade at this point in time. The fact that gold's seen as a bit of a hedge against inflation, and some people are worried that Donald Trump may be inflationary. says people are not that worried the fact that gold's pushing lower. So a lot of people long gold's up near record highs, so like even the fact that it's up 2,600 is still pretty high. It made its way up towards 2,800, so that is pretty high when it comes to the price of gold. So bit of mean reversion is not too unsurprising, to be perfectly honest. And then Bitcoin, where did Bitcoin actually get to? Did it actually hit that? Did it hit that 90,000? Bang on, did it? That's where we got to. Not quite. 89,993. So haven't quite made it to 90k just yet. Be interesting to see if it does again at some point today, but bit of a pullback as it got up to 90,000. But again, any dip got to look to be a buyer on Bitcoin and certainly cryptocurrencies across the board, I think. So picture's the same as yesterday. Cable's a bit better of a sell this morning off the back of the unemployment rate. Do you want to sell it down at these lows though? Probably not. So any sort of rallies on cable, any sort of rallies on euro dollar, I think sell back into. Any sort of dips on any US indexes, I think buy back into. Right, see how it pans out over the next few days. We do have inflation tomorrow, so we do have to think about that. But ultimately, if we're just thinking about today, we've still got a day before inflation. Markets will generally continue to move about, and I think any opportunities on those sides of the market, I think you've got to look to get in. I do think gold's still a sell on rallies as well. If it pushes any higher, sell on rallies, pretty clear direction across gold at the moment. So and then Bitcoin, funny dips on Bitcoin. So a bunch of opportunities in markets at the moment. Maybe not quite now, maybe not just yet. Wait a little bit, wait for some markets to come back the opposite direction, then I think we definitely have some opportunities. But bunch of things to keep our eyes on. Not saying you're gonna have to go trade all of them, but definitely some opportunities in markets over the course of this week.